yes. Oh, yes. Oh,
Hi,
yes.
everybody.
We're back. We're back. We're back and we're live and we're excited to be here. Oh, what's going on, Seesaw Studios? So good to have you. So good to have you.
And
excited, man.
Yes, and guess what, y'all? We got a couch. We got a couch.
We got a little couch,
y'all. So
yeah,
we're excited about that.
What's going on? What's going on? Talk to us in the comment section.
Yes.
It has been a while.
I know.
The whole holiday season has passed us by. We hope that it was good for you. Happy New Year for those that we haven't seen in a while.
Yes.
To my LinkedIn fam, to my Facebook fam, to the YouTube fam, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us.
Yes.
Whether you're watching this live or on the replay, we're excited to be here. Hey, it's official, an official couch.
Yes.
An official couch.
On the couch.
On the couch, man.
Not
really,
at the table.
Really excited about the couch. Really excited about the couch. Really excited about the couch. But yeah, man, Seesaw, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us tonight. And we hope that others will join as the time goes on, man. We've just been racking up interviews.
Yes.
Just for you.
Yeah, we've been working on getting more people on the couch with us.
Right.
So we're excited. We got some good
these
stories.
interviews are on the couch, like
Actual couch.
Here on the couch. So we're excited about that as well. But yeah, man, we're excited. We got some actual stories. We got some things coming down the pike, I should say.
Yep.
We want to dive into some of our sections, but we want to say this as we get ready to launch, man. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Let us know again how your holiday season was. It's been a little minute. We're excited to be back. We hope that you are too. And we know it takes some time, to shake the rust off. We might have to do another week series where we kind of get some things in rhythm. But I am excited for the show to be back. So many people have asked, like, when is it coming back? So we're excited.
And I do not want to forget, guys, we will be premiering season 1 on a new platform.
Yes.
Still here, but on another platform called unscripted.tv.
Unscripted.tv.
Yes. And we are so excited about that.
Yo,
we will make sure to have a video to show on next week's episode. But definitely check them out on unscripted.tv. They have a bunch of other shows on their platform. So just check them out.
And we'll be doing an interview with them.
Yes, we will be doing one
on their
with
platform. So
next Monday,
right before
our other episode.
Season 2, episode 2. This is season 2. Like, y'all, this is season 2.
Y'all.
This is crazy. Like, man, season 2. It's crazy already. Hey, listen, several of you have asked about the shirts. I think this is there it is. These are some of the shirts that we have available. They are out there just for you.
Come on, y'all.
So, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Visit iCouch.live/merch today. And you can get any of those. Look, the long sleeve joints are there. It's a little cold outside, but then you also know that spring is around the corner.
It actually was nice today.
Yeah, it really was.
You could have worn a little shirt.
Yeah, a little shirt with a little,
beating down on us today.
Yeah. The shirts are black, and then you have the Incubators Couch colors, and I think they have the logo. No logo on the back. Just the wording on the front.
Perfect. Wording that we just had to get a shirt for.
Had to.
What's one of them? You can't pay for dopeness.
You can't pay for dopeness.
You can't.
And exposure does not equal currency. Does not equal currency with the X. No, it does not. So don't even try it. We're excited about all the different things that are coming. Listen, one of the things that I get to do and teach is live streaming and live video strategy. And Incubators Couch is the perfect benchmark test for that. Like unscripted .tv. That whole opportunity came out of us going live, came out of us doing what you see us doing right now. And that could be the same thing for you.
Y'all.
It could be the same thing for you. I see Seesaw in the comments section says, get these shirts, folks. I have 2. They look and feel great, man. Seesaw, I feel like I haven't seen you, man. Like I haven't seen you on my channel. So it's so good. No, I mean, I'm not partial, but I'm so excited to see you back and hanging out with us.
Yeah, you haven't seen him for a while. So
yeah. So I'll just give you a virtual dap. But listen, we have a rant.
We got our rant.
We got our rant coming up. So let's get into it right now. Gotta kick the rust off,
Yeah, a little rusty, y'all. Bear with us.
The rust. We had this thing down to an exact science.
Things are a little mixed up.
Yeah, a little bit. But we're gonna get there. Listen, Host Rant. This is the segment of the show where we get a chance to have our own little therapy session where we get to, vent a little bit. And this one right here gets a little hot under the collar. Gets a little hot under the collar. Let me tee it up like this. You go to the dentist. When you go to the dentist, they ask you before you come for your appointment for your insurance.
Yes.
Because the insurance is going to pay some of your dental visit. And when you are done with your dental visit, you generally don't leave until you go to that desk.
You got to go to that desk.
Go to that desk. And when you go to that desk, they'll tell you if there is a balance. And when they tell you that if there's a balance or not, sometimes they'll just say, hey, no balance today. We'll see you at your next appointment. Other times they'll say, oh, okay, insurance covered this and your balance is this. Have you ever tried in that moment where they say your balance is XYZ? Have you ever tried to say, I'm going to get it to you next week. I'm going to get it to you in a few moments when I think about it. I'm going to get it to you a little later because I just don't want to pull out my card right now. Tried that? I wonder, have you ever tried that? Does that work for you? What's good, Florence? We're excited to have you with us. But I say all that to say, I doubt that worked. If you ever tried it. In fact, here's the real clincher. You've probably never tried it.
You wouldn't dare.
You wouldn't even dare try it. Why? Because it's just unheard of. It's unrealistic. It's actually in poor taste, really, to walk out of the business establishment with a balance, having received the services and goods that you went there for. You can't walk out. That's almost tantamount to a stick up.
Yeah, I was gonna say the stealing.
It's stealing.
Yeah.
I'm kicking it to you now.
So, in business,
because this is ridiculous.
When you've sent that invoice, they've paid the deposit, and now you're like, okay, did the work. They're like, okay, we're good. We're at the finish line. And you send that final invoice. And you're like, okay, I'm going to give them like maybe 1 or 3 days grace period to pay it. 7 days later.
7 days later.
No payment. You send a nice email. Hey, that invoice that was sent, what's going on with it?
We just want to make sure.
We going to pay it. 2 weeks later, nothing. Like, why is it that we have to hound some customers to get paid?
I don't think...
Like, why is that such an issue? I know, like, for some customers, like one customer in particular, like, as soon as he gets that invoice, he texts me like, Kanique, don't worry. I've already talked to accounting. They are going to get that invoice paid and have the check out to you. So you should get it in the next day or two. So we got it and don't worry about it. Others, on the other hand... I've had a few where I'm like, why do I have to hound you to get my money? Like, it should not be like that.
Yo, put a 2 in the chat if you have ever had to chase someone down for your balance, for the money that is owed you for services or goods rendered. Here, the thing that kind of gets under my skin is there's these are people who will swipe at the drop of a dime anywhere else. You go to the store, you're doing some shopping, you're buying some food, you're getting some groceries. It doesn't matter. You swipe. Yeah. We get to the kids' game. You either swipe or you go to the ATM and get money, get cash. You do the Cash App thing. You do you figure it out because you got to go to the game.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'm gonna pay. Like I had a guy fully come back for another project with a balance on the previous one, and I'm like, Doc, you haven't even closed out the bill from the previous.
That don't even make any sense.
And then he's kind of like, oh man, my bad. Oh, that. Oh yeah, man, I'm good. We're gonna take care of that. That's not even a big. Yes, it is a big deal.
How about you go ahead and take care of that?
How about it is a big deal because it's outstanding and I need that money.
And what I don't get is people don't realize that this is a business and we need those funds in order for us to survive. Listen. Like, we are not some huge corporations where we got tons of cash coming in. Like, we good. We can miss a couple of your payments. No. We need that money because we have set our budget to cover our bills.
Why that should never be a thing. Like, me personally, I do not like owing.
No.
I do not like knowing that I owe someone and there's a bill outstanding. And all that's left for me to do is just to pay it. It's not because I have no dispute. I'm not questioning whether or not this bill is mine.
Need to pay it.
It just needs to be paid. And so what I've taken to is I stop delivering the final product. And that gets it gets very clear when you're about to produce a show and you're sitting there looking at the folks like, I guess we're not going live. And they're like, well, what's happening? The balance hasn't been paid.
It hasn't been paid. I had to check two people in the past week. Like, I guess I'm not making any maintenance on your site. Because this bill is unpaid.
Yeah.
I guess it's not happening.
Nothing I can do. I mean, real talk. I see y'all in the comments. You're having a good time. We got a couple of twos. Equip Institute put 2. Seesaw Studios put 2. Gary Link put 2.
He understands.
No, he gets it. Stop delivery, Florence says. Absolutely. I've taken to just like, well, I guess we're not. I have an outstanding balance for somebody. It's over a year now. And I guess they just don't want their stuff. They don't want their assets. They don't want their shows. They don't want anything. I guess they're good. They're fine with walking away from the deposit that they paid, and I guess they're good.
They don't want the stuff. It's fine.
But that's the kind of thing that really gets under my skin, and that is our host rant for the week this week. And listen, we're excited about all that we got going on here today.
Yep.
But man, the host rant is a part of the show again. Like I said, that we get to. Get something off of our chest. Yeah. I see your comment, Florence. Let's get into our resource of the week. Resource of the week. Listen, the last couple of resources of the week, if you followed us throughout the end of the season for season 1, you know that we closed out the season with kind of these mini seminars.
Yeah.
So we had like a couple of slides and we kind of presented that thing. Networking 101, business 101, just all kinds of really good stuff. But the resources of the week can take on many different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
For those that are coming in brand new for season 2, you can see how that's kind of a rhyme there, brand new for season 2. But for those who are coming in brand new, we want you to kind of understand some of the segments of the show. So resources of the week, we share some tools, maybe platforms, maybe software, maybe a website.
Yeah.
But this time, we want to talk about a resource that has really been a game changer for us. Take it away.
The Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Every city, let me not say every, most cities should have a Chamber of Commerce.
If it's a city, if it's a village or a town or something smaller than a city, but cities definitely have a Chamber of Commerce. Yes.
And I don't know, but I think our Chamber of Commerce is the best out there because they are doing it so well.
It is a breath of fresh air.
It's not just where you just join the Chamber of Commerce and that's it. You just put the logo on your website and you're good. No. they have so many opportunities to go to events, do networking, get involved.
Yeah.
Like, for example, they have these other volunteer programs within it. One of them is called the Ambassador Program.
Yes, indeed.
And then a level up from that is the Emissary Program. And I just love how they're so intentional about making sure you're getting your money's worth. Every month there's a meeting for just the ambassadors to meet, mingle, meet each other. Just the last one we had last Wednesday was like a speed networking thing. And I made so many connections. Like, it was awesome. And then in between the week, they have like after hour get-togethers. They even have lunch meetings where you just come, and a smaller group, you sign up, you come, and you get to meet other business owners one-on-one over a meal. Like, it's so good. And every month there is some other huge event that they do. Like, for example, there is a, what do you call it? Like a membership meeting. And this is like not just the ambassador or emissary program. This is like everyone person.
Yeah.
And I'm telling y'all,
it's a who's
everything is sponsored. Okay.
Everything is sponsored.
Everything, even the smaller things. Yeah. Everything has a sponsor.
Yeah.
Like, they are making
the forks have a sponsor. Yeah.
No, so it's just awesome.
They've created this entire business model that is so dope, and it's built around businesses. They do a State of the City address every year, and the Chamber of Commerce hosts this State of the City that the mayor speaks at, and people we've gone the last couple years in a row. People from everywhere. There are state officials. You have folks from FBI, because Huntsville is one of those kind of towns. You got people from the Army, Redstone Arsenal, all of the different government contracting organizations that are here in Huntsville. It
sells out of tickets like within a week or two.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't buy your ticket quickly, you're done. And then they have like a State of the Schools that's coming up this month. Like, there's so many opportunities that they are so intentional about making sure that you get the best out of your membership. And also there is a women's business council that I just joined, and that's just for women business owners. Like, I'm telling you, they even have a way. They send out a newsletter, but they have like a special like digital magazine where members can put their events, their things, their advertisements in this magazine, and like, people hit that thing up.
I mean, like, it's really to the point where because people know we're in the Chamber of Commerce, they'll just ask us questions because we know. I mean, like, every new business, every ribbon cutting, right? People building buildings and they have the ribbon cuttings. They literally will come to the Chamber of Commerce and tell them, hey, I'm doing a ribbon cutting. Can you come?
Yes, and the ambassador program is in charge of all of us going there to show support, welcome this new business, but then you can mingle, network, and see how you can form a relationship or collaborate with that business.
Especially if you do B2B like we do. A lot of our services are business to business. Coaches, authors, consultants, those are businesses. But then you have these other businesses who are looking for video marketing. That's what I do. Web design, website, web presence, I should say. That's all in there.
And one thing I want to say, like, photographers, ribbon cuttings, money. Because most times they don't have a professional photographer. Someone in the ambassador program has a little camera that they're trying to take pictures. But I know the photographer he goes there intentionally to take really nice pictures, and then he sends it to them for them to share on their social media. And guaranteed, they're like, oh, you do headshots? Can you come and do ours? Because you did such a good job at taking these pictures of a ribbon cutting. Why don't you come and do this one? So that's how he makes all these connections. And does well.
So great. And she recently, because she's in the ambassador program, she represents composition in the ambassador program for the Chamber of Commerce. She recently got a chance to tour the brand new FBI building here. It's just crazy stuff.
It was. Yes, there's special tours that you can go on that they have just for the ambassadors. And the FBI tour was amazing.
I really was jealous. I was really jealous on that one.
Like, on the TV shows where you see the logo on the ground.
Come on, man.
Yes. So there's so many opportunities, and they make it worth your while. I just love it. It's the best out there, I think.
Check out your local Chamber of Commerce. You can get in there for networking. You get in there for ribbon cutting. There's the volunteer programs like the ambassadors. We hope that yours is just as active as ours is, but let me tell you, your local Chamber of Commerce is an absolute resource to be able to grow your business, to be able to get business outside of your friend groups. Word of mouth is still the best way to advertise, but you can be intentional about whose word of mouth you're utilizing by ensuring that you are expanding your network. And so the Chamber of Commerce has been a really great resource for that. But that kind of brings us to a close for this particular, those two portions of the show. We usually here go into a incubator spotlight, and usually that incubator is the business that we're spotlighting for today. But we don't have incubator spotlight for you, so we're going to go into our therapy session, and we're going to do that right now. What's going on, family? We are so excited to have you back in the new year for Incubators Couch. New year, new set.
New set, y'all. We are in the studio
we're excited about this,
Not at the table.
Not at the table. Y'all keep playing us. We're on the couch now. We literally bought this couch just for this. So we're excited about that. And on the couch today, we have a good friend and fellow business owner and entrepreneur, Nicole Taylor. How are you?
Welcome. I'm fine. How are you guys?
We are good. We're good, and we're excited to have you on the couch with us.
And I'm glad to be here. Yes, on the new couch.
On the new couch.
Am I the first person?
You're breaking it in.
You're the first person on the couch.
Okay.
Come
on. Awesome.
So we're excited about that as well. Man, so take a second. Tell us a little bit about the business that the business area that you're in, and just kind of a little bit about that trajectory or that story that behind the business before we dive into what we came for.
Well, previously we owned a company called Tailor Made. I'm saying Tailor Made. I mean Tailor for Kids Christian Child Development Center. And how that came about is when I decided to start a family. We decided to start a family. I did not want to go back to work. I worked for the government as a contractor, and I traveled a lot.
Very similar to us.
And so I was like, I don't want to go back to work. And so education is my background. Early childhood, elementary, higher education.
Nice.
And I had previously owned a home daycare facility. And so my husband, of course, being the business-minded person that he is, he encouraged me. He said, well, what about us starting a commercial daycare? And at that time, I didn't think that I really wanted to go back into daycare because, it's a lot.
It is a lot of work.
But the thought about being with my kids, at least for the first year, that was really the eye-opener for me. So what my husband started doing, he started researching commercial businesses, looking for a place for us. And so on North Parkway, they were building a new plaza. And so it was a dental office, Edward Jones, and we took up about maybe half of that facility for our daycare. And so long story short, once the building was completed, we moved in, and our daycare grew. We could hold like 170 kids. We got up to like 120. We had 13
That's
employees.
Amazing.
Yes. So
that is good. I mean, you're able to scale that thing and grow that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
I know.
It took a lot
that
of
little
work.
pause. You heard that pause.
Yeah, it didn't start out. We didn't start out with a bunch of people. But it was my nephew and
listen, put them to work.
That's fine.
Put them to work.
No, he was a baby. So he was one of the children. So he was like a couple.
Yeah.
And over that time span, it grew. God blessed it, and we were able to stay open for 5 years. And,
that's a long time.
It was long. It was a lot of hard work.
I can only imagine. Like that area is highly regulated. There's so much you have to do to get into that space. So I we homeschooled our kids for 1 year, and we realized that this is not our gifting.
Not for me.
This is not our gifting. God did not set us up for this. So we went back to work, and we put them back in school
immediately.
Right. So that is awesome. And so what do you currently do?
Well, currently now I'm a contractor
nice.
for a company. I'm a project manager.
There you go.
And so that's what I do, and I work from home.
Hey.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
That flexibility, man.
I know.
That is awesome. That is awesome, man. And one of the things that is so good about entrepreneurship is that it comes in many different shapes and sizes.
That's true.
Sometimes you'll find that the candidates for full-time employment that people are looking for, generally they are looking for those who have been entrepreneurs before. There's a certain mindset, there's a hunger and a drive that an entrepreneur will bring to your business. I know for when I'm hiring, I'm looking for somebody who's got a business in themselves. In fact, some of the younger guys that I bring on to do some things, I make them set up a business so that they, can kind of understand some of the ins and outs. Right. No one better to manage your business than somebody who understands what it's like to run a business for themselves.
They know.
Yeah. There's so much there.
And I, although I'm a contractor, project manager, I still work for myself.
There you go.
So, I see jobs out there, I apply, and they say, hey, can you provide us with your skill set?
Yeah.
So,
it just occurred to me, I need to connect you with somebody in our, both shared sphere who's looking to get into that project management world. And I just had a couple of conversations with her. I want to make sure to connect you with her as well. We'll do that afterwards. But now, listen, I put a 5 in the chat if you have ever dealt with or had to utilize the services of a daycare. Put a 5 in the chat. Just put a 5. That's all we're asking you to do. Put a 5 in the chat.
That should be everybody. If you have kids, or even if you don't have biological kids, foster care or
yes. Even if the daycare or childcare, or even if it was a babysitter, you put a 5 in the chat if you've ever had to do that. Now, we should be seeing a lot of 5s going up and down in the chat right now. And the reason why I'm asking you to do that is because we're going to hear a story now. Listen, we've divided the stranger among us. We now know who she is, some of her background. We're on the couch. Yeah, y'all was playing this before. Now on the couch, literally chilling on the couch now. So, tell us a little bit, share with us your experience, your client experience that you wanted to share with us today. I'll just leave it there. I'm keeping it general on purpose because I don't know.
Yeah, just pick one. We already know you got a lot.
You must have multiple, but just give us one and let's see what we can learn from this one.
Okay. There was this one incident where our daycare, we provided daycare for a diverse group. So African Americans, Caucasians. And so there was this one Caucasian parent. And with child development, kids go through a phase of biting.
Yeah, they do.
And for me as the director, and that's my background, their child had been bitten once. So we had a conference. We always informed them your child has been bitten. And a lot of times at that age, and it was about 15 months, 2 years of age, that's a way, if a child really can't communicate properly or verbally, that's one way that they communicate. They bite. And so the parent's child had been harassing another child, and the child bit him. So we talked about it, and I said, we're going to try to make sure we monitor the situation, keep them separated, blase. Well, the child ended up getting bitten again. And so, we talked, but it happens. It does. But, and as a parent, I'm on both sides because I have children too, and as a business owner, so I understood both sides. But the parent wanted me to kick the child out of the daycare, out of the classroom. And I told her that, the child wasn't being vicious. Like, you have some kids, that's all they do. They bite. Yeah. And, it can be teething purposes, just different purposes. Yeah. But for me as a parent, I didn't feel that child was being vicious. The child was really just protecting himself. And so, of course, with the teacher, I talked to the teacher, I was like, hey, we really got to keep an eye on this situation. But it slips through sometimes. So that morning, the parents, the husband and the mother, they came in to drop the child off. So I said, good morning. And she didn't say anything. I mean, I was like, well, maybe she didn't hear me, So as they were leaving, I said, good morning, Mrs. and Mr. He spoke, the husband. And so she turns around quickly, like she's walking, I'm behind her. She turns around instantly in my face, and she says, my mother told me if I didn't have anything good to say, don't say it at all. Ooh. And so I was like, oh my, I mean, I thought, I was like, is this,
wow.
What?
Is this the Twilight Zone? Because, you know, yes. So she was right. We were in each other's face like,
oh my word.
And so I took a deep breath. Mm-hmm. And I have to be honest, my blood was boiling.
Oh, yeah.
And my blood was boiling. Yeah, and so my K4 teacher, she was witnessing the whole thing. And she must have seen my face, and she said, Mrs. Taylor, take a deep breath, please. She said, take a deep breath. She did. She
yes.
And the husband looked at his wife, and you could tell that he was pretty embarrassed. And, you know, he touched her and was like, you know, what are you doing? So they walk out, and in my mind, I'm like, did that just happen? So
wow.
I instantly went to the door, and I flagged them down like this. Yeah. And the husband let his window down, and the wife was looking out the window. You could tell she was highly upset. And I said, come and get your child.
Yeah.
I said, this, you know, I'm not going to tolerate that type of behavior. I said, you know, that was really rude and unprofessional as a, you know, a parent, you know. Yeah. And but in my mind, I'm like, this is my business.
No.
You know, I'm like, I'm honestly, I'm like,
yes, you can.
Money, I'm sorry.
No,
you know, I can't tolerate this behavior. No. That's right. And so the father came back in, and he was like, please. He was like, please. He said, please don't do this. He said, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my wife this morning. And he said, well, can you at least just let him stay here for today? And I said, sure. I said, I will do that for you. I said, I will allow that. I said, but you all will have to find other child care. I said, because this type of relationship is not going to work.
And it's only going to get worse.
Especially with, you know, and I mean, I would imagine from the parent's perspective, after you've had that kind of interaction, how could you then feel safe to leave your child with that person?
You're not going to.
Even though you're on the side of aggression, right? I'm the parent that's on the side of aggression.
Yes.
But even with that said, I'm not going to put my child back in that situation.
True. Right. Yeah. And exactly what you said, you know, I talked with my assistant director, and we both were like, I wouldn't want to leave my child. But they knew, I mean, in all honesty, that, you know, we took very good care of the child. Yeah. And so, but I guess by the end of the day, they really thought about it, but they came back earlier, you know, like midday, and went, you know, came and got him.
They did.
But he apologized on behalf of his wife, you know, and he said, you guys really took good care of our son, but but you know, that relationship had to come to an end.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Listen, go ahead and put in the chat. What are some of your takeaways just from this story? Yes. So, and as they're doing that, share what are some of the, how did this incident, or this experience, I should say, you know, kind of inform how you continue doing your business from that point forward? Did you change any policies, or make any adjustments
changes,
or anything like that? Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, when I made some self-evaluations, you know, I asked myself, what did I do anything, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you got to do that. That's really critical. Yeah. Sometimes we don't take enough time to self-evaluate and really kind of say, okay, yes, I have a right to be upset, but maybe there's something in the situation, and that's really critical in business as well, to be able to say, what can I have changed? And so that's a really good
right. And exactly, as a business owner, we've always felt like we make self-evaluations about myself as a business owner. Was this policy not clear? What could I have done differently? You know, if I was changing a policy, did I give the customers ample enough time?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But honestly, when I made the self-evaluation, I really didn't see where I played a part, because all I had done was just speak to her. And then I said, well, maybe she didn't hear me. Let me speak again. And so, but in reflecting, I didn't feel that I needed to add any policies at that, because those are some things that happen that, you know, you're not prepared for.
Got it.
And so, but for me as a business owner, I didn't have to put up with that disrespect, because as a owner and with my customers, that's not how I want to treat them.
There it is.
So they're not going to tolerate that treatment from me. So for me as a business owner, vice versa, I'm not going to tolerate that.
That's
either.
good. You know, if when you're young in business, sometimes the tendency or the desire is, you know, you're so hungry that you just, I just want to get any kind of business. But the truth is, man, something you really have to really protect your peace. Really have to guard that yes, as we have been saying, and ensure that you're setting yourself up for long-term success.
Right.
Not just grasping at whatever comes, because that kind of treatment will continue down the line. And I'm certain, regardless of whether the feedback is from that person, I'm certain because of how you took a stand, they will think twice in dealing with anyone else going forward.
Right. Yeah. And I really love that about your store, because you were empowered to do that. Yeah. You did not sit back and be like, oh, let me just let her be, let her go ahead with her attitude. No. You were empowered to say, you know what, I'm not going to have her talk to me in this way. Right. And you took power in that situation. And I really love that.
Yeah. Because, you know, if she was, because she said to me, she said, you told me that you were not going to allow him to get bitten again. And I told her, I said, I never said I would never. I said, we are going to do all that we can to stop this situation from happening. And I said, so you have misquoted what I said to you, because that's where the anger was coming from.
Got it.
Okay.
And I explained to her, no, I never said that. You know?
Yeah, you know, even in the whole situation, because I don't know if you heard it, but the child who was biting, this was their response to what they were getting.
Yes.
Did you catch that?
Yes,
part?
I did.
Yes.
Both of us were like,
Right. And she acknowledged that, the parents when we had a conference, that, you know, and their child wasn't bad, but still, you know, kids in a room together playing, and if you take something or that's just a reaction. And so, you know, I explained to her that, you know, this is what he's doing. So it's on both sides.
It is. It is. And while the biting is not a good response, it is indicative of a larger picture. So just the reaction response is not the only thing. And the reason why I frame it that way is because in business, sometimes the response, you've got to look at the whole picture. Sometimes you will see a comment or on a Google ad, a review or something like that, and something that's negative of a business, and that is the response. You don't necessarily know what the full picture is.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's why the Incubators Couch exists, because we hold space here for businesses to say, look, man, we've been done wrong. We've had some clients, have mercy. I mean, we wouldn't wish them on our worst enemy because of the way that they carry themselves, but there's no platform for businesses to say, don't touch that client. All right, there's no Better Client Bureau, right? It's only Better Business Bureau, and you have this whole concept of the customer is always right. And let me be clear: if it's your business, you don't have to take any garbage.
Exactly.
And as business owners, when you go online and you're looking at reviews for other companies, you see something negative. One thing I'll say about Malcolm and I, you know, he'll say, yeah, they said that, but you know what? He said, look, they got all these. That's just one.
That's just one.
He said, and that's an angry customer. And even like with teaching, when students go in and they put a bad evaluation, you'll have all positives and you have one, and that's that one student that was upset that you didn't give them what they wanted. So it's always those reviews out there too that we have to look deeper into and say, look at the rest of these compared to there's consistency now.
Now you have to be mindful of that as well. And then of course you have that other aspect of it's much more difficult to get a positive review than it is to get a negative review, right? That's always been a struggle.
That's true.
It's like, hey, can you give me a review? And you don't necessarily get them. And some of those experiences were completely positive, but those are the ones where, unfortunately, we aren't.
Yeah, people are more likely to leave a negative review than a positive review.
That's true.
Yeah. But man, so many nuggets of wisdom that we're able to kind of glean from this story, and of course your perspective on it. And I hope that it shares something with you as well. There is. You have permission as the business owner to decide what you will take and what you will not take. And I would recommend that you define that ahead of time.
That's right.
So that when you want to respond, it's not a knee-jerk reaction. It's not something that you just out of the heat of the moment, you are responding because this is what we decided. We're not taking this. And so you're able to kind of respond in a way that gives you some peace, allows you to feel good about showing up to work and doing what it is you feel called to do. Because, I mean, that's what your business is. I mean,
and I will add, too, in our parent handbook for the parents, of course, we had, some basic policies about, behavior, thing. But this was the first, like, a parent, like, really, turning around as if she wanted to, so.
No, that type of aggression.
But, as you're stating, when you are a business owner, you are more empowered to do that because you definitely really can't do that when you're working for others. So that's a freedom
that you have.
That is a freedom that you have.
So that is so true.
Like, we need your money. We need the customers, but we don't need customers that think that they can treat us.
True.
Any
kind of way
in our business.
Yeah. And I think that if anything could go viral, we need that to go viral. We need customers to know you just can't treat business owners any kind of way.
Exactly.
You've got to treat them with the same level of respect that you would if you were the business owner.
That's right.
So I love that. We want to hear from you if there's anything that you have coming up new or any projects that people can kind of tap into. We have your social on the screen, but if there's anything that people who are watching this doesn't, we got a lot of
Huntsville folks. Yeah, because we know you guys have moved on to other things. So what are those things?
So if you have anything you want to share with us as we get ready to close it out.
Well, right now, my husband, I will say, if it wasn't for him, the business ventures that we have gotten into, I probably would not have, because he's more of the business-minded, oriented person, and so I typically just whatever he wants to do, I'm there to support. So right now, for me, with project management, that is something that I'm mainly trying to push forward.
Right.
More so because I like the flexibility of being home. So just really right now, just pushing forward with, being more of a subcontractor.
Got it.
Where that's subcontracting with different skill sets, whether that's with education, or, all the diversity that I have on my resume.
That's good.
Nice.
Hey, listen, that gives you options. I love options now.
Yes.
I love options. I love stacking the deck. And we can't thank you enough for coming through and hanging out with us today, sharing from your experiences, sharing this story as well. Somebody out there is resonating with it. Let us know in the chat.
Yes.
What were your takeaways as well? We're going to engage with you in just a second. I want to say this as we get ready to actually close out the therapy session of our show. We're excited to have your husband on in another episode. We're going to be looking forward to kind of picking his brain a little bit more about some of those business ventures that you mentioned. So that'll be a lot of fun. But now this was great, and we can't thank you enough for coming through today.
Well, thank you. I've had an awesome time being here, sharing my story.
Yes. Excellent. But man, that was a really great therapy session, I should say. I don't think we've ever had a daycare.
No, we have not.
I mean, that's a totally
yes, it is. You're working
totally different skill
a lot
set.
with people.
Woof! And you're working with their most prized
possessions.
Children. Like their children. I mean, this is their everything.
That's really sensitive.
So it is very sensitive. And so you kind of, you do have to do that balancing act there, but no, because even as I was listening back to the story now, I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't even know that I would have allowed the child to stay even for that day.
Come get your child.
No, you need to get your child.
Have a nice day.
Because I don't even want have a nice day. I don't even want to have the because there's like now you leave the child and then it's like we should have taken because they could have blamed you.
Yes,
there's
for
so many things like
man.
See, this is why I don't do the people thing. No.
I'm
give
good.
me your videos. Give me your pictures.
Put me behind a desk.
Your assets.
On a computer.
I'll work with those things, but I don't want to be working with. That's just too much. But I just can't thank you guys enough for rallying, coming back through, hanging out with us. We know that it was difficult to go weather the disconnect, but Hopefully, you'll be able to catch the entire thing on the replay. I'm going to actually stitch the whole thing together, and so that you actually have all of the different pieces that were shared for the entire show here on YouTube. So if you catch the replay, you'll be able to see the entire thing.
Yeah, but my favorite part about her story was how empowered she was to say, you know what, I don't have to take this, come get your child. Like, so empowering because she has control of her own business to say what clients or what parents she's willing to work with or what situation she wants to be in. So that alone is like, yes, ma'am, you don't have to take it. Yeah. You can be like, we're not. You guys can take your child.
I know for me, the first time that happened for me, where I was able to say to somebody who wanted me to do something, they were willing to pay. And I was able to say to them, not for me.
It feels so good.
And they were just looking at me like, no, we'll pay. And I was like, no, I know you'll pay. I mean, that goes without saying. But I don't want to do it.
No.
And they're like, who am I going to find to do this? It was just such a freeing thing. It was a customer that we had a contract with. I was providing tech support, and they wanted us to provide this other service, which I knew exactly how to do it. I just didn't want to. And it wasn't a part of our contract. They knew that. And they were like, hey, can you do this piece for us? And I was like, oh, guys, sorry. No, that's not something I can do. It's like, no, we'll pay. We'll pay. I was like, actually, has nothing to do with money. I just know what that is.
My sanity.
I do not want to do that. That's actually why I'm in business for myself, because I can pick and choose the jobs, the projects, the types of work, the types of services I provide. And that's something to be, that's a huge reminder that business owners and incubators, you need to remember, you get to decide what services you are going to offer, not the client.
Come on. Say it again.
No, not the client.
Not the client.
Not the client. The other thing I wanted to touch on is kind of the name of the show, which is you need to get the full picture sometimes, not just what the client said. The full picture, not just that one little blurb that highlights this one moment. Like, was there nothing redeemable about this business? When I think about bad reviews, it's crazy. This is a business that went through all of the stuff, the EIN, articles of organization, standard operating procedures, a business that went through all of that stuff just for them to be a bad business. You get what I'm saying? It's like, why would you go through all the work that it takes to be in business, to be a bad business? And so I always take reviews with a grain of salt.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You got to get the full picture.
Yeah, and try to look at things from both sides.
To
see, how could this have been done better? Like, where did this go wrong? Like, you've got to think about it from multiple areas. Don't just take the bad review for what it is on this wherever.
But I will also hasten to add that if you're a business out there and you're not doing good, close up. Because you're doing the rest of us a disservice.
Yeah.
If you're a business out there and you have negative experiences that you keep on explaining away, that you keep on saying, well, that was all, it's always the client's fault. And even if it is the client's fault, you can't learn from it. I think you need to do some self-evaluation.
Yes.
You need to figure out whether or not this is for you, because we can always improve. We can always do better. But you have to be looking and sensitive to maybe I did do something wrong.
Exactly.
And this is what the whole business cycle, the life cycle of business is about. And I'm excited about it. I like it. I like self-improvement. I like getting better. Like, man, I handled this version of a ClientZilla way better than I did the last time I got that same flavor of ClientZilla coming to my doorstep.
That's good.
Oh my gosh. Hey man, Ibrahim, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us tonight.
And thank you, Equip Institute, for coming back.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Yeah. I know Enea was here earlier, and I think it's her first time probably seeing you.
Yes, that's true.
She is. She's part of the MLB crew, which is David Hunt's crew, early in the morning, make life better. And then David will send his entire audience over to me for morning motivation. And so she's been rocking with us every morning. And so when I put up the thing sharing that we were live, they came through. Cool. Yeah. Keep an RFI book. Come on. Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
Always room for improvement.
Yes.
RFI. Always room for improvement. There really is. And that's how you innovate. When you do not
totally agree.
Yeah, you don't say I have arrived and I can't get any better than this. Oh, that's the recipe for disaster. And I do believe that there are some businesses out there that give the rest of us a bad name.
Yeah.
But I think that they are vastly the minority. I do not believe that the vast majority of businesses are out there just trying to hack whatever money they can possibly get.
That's true.
I just, when you're in business, especially if it's a passion, I mean, I'm looking for looking for more people that will allow me to do their live show. Why? Because I love live shows. I even create them like this one. But yeah, fam, this was, we got merch. Come on through. What's in that cup? What's in there? Oh, it's water.
Don't worry about that.
I thought maybe you had something.
Just showing off my swag.
Okay.
For composition.
Composition. We got the composition mug. Listen, we got the composition. There's so many things going on, man. It's so exciting. But listen, fam, I just want to say a word of thanks to all of you for coming through and hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah.
That was episode 1.
Episode 1, season 2.
Season 2, episode 1, Incubators Couch. And we will be launching season 1 on unscripted.tv. Yes. That's going to be dope.
We're so excited.
We're excited about that.
There will be an Instagram live next Monday at 5 p.m. CST
Central Time.
That we will be sharing on our Facebook page. So if you want to catch us on there, follow us on Composition on Instagram.
Facebook or
it'll be on Instagram.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
On Instagram.
It'll be on the Composition Instagram page. Yes. So make sure you follow us there as well. Listen, and for those of you that are coming through and hanging out with us today, some of you, she's been asking for an M3 mug for weeks now. So
okay,
morning
we'll
motivation and media.
We're gonna work on that.
But for those of you that are coming through and hanging out with us today, maybe you're coming from Kanique's channel or where she shared, or you're coming from my channel or where I shared it from. If you're coming through and hanging out with us today, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to grow here as well. This is a space for us to be able to, vent a little, for us to get some things off of as business owners, incubators, entrepreneurs, to get some of those things off of our chest.
Yes.
And not only to feel validated, but for us to hear from others what they took from the story, which can also help us learn something additional. Every time we have a guest on the show, we're learning and they're learning from their story. And we hope that you're going to learn from it as well. And listen, even if you're not in business, sheesh, hit that subscribe button. Come on through. The Composition is definitely a great platform, and this is the name of our company, so we definitely want to make sure that is there too.
Well,
Thank you.
That's a wrap, folks.
That's a wrap.
Next Monday at 7 p.m. CST. Set your alarms, hit the bell so you can be notified, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Or 5 p.m.
for the preview.
Yes, for the preview. Or 5 p.m. for the preview with unscripted.tv. Incubators Couch is unscripted, vulnerable conversations for entrepreneurs and business owners just like you. We'll see you, family, in the next one. Later.